sink rate, pull rate, sink rate, pull up.
Before watching the video, can you please save a little bit time, like and subscribe to SkypluS have mover to increase?
Atlas Air Flight 3591 was a scheduled domestic cargo flight under the Amazon Air banner between Miami International Airport and George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston. On February 23, 2019, the Boeing 767-375ER used for this flight crashed into Trinity Bay during approach into Houston. The Boeing 767-375ER aircraft was registered N1217A and was nearly 27 years old at the time of the accident, having been built in 1992. It was originally ordered by Canadian Airlines. In 1997, it was transferred to LAN Airlines and flew for 19 years before being stored in January 2016. It was converted into a freighter in April 2017. The aircraft had accumulated more than 91,000 hours over 23,300 flights and was powered by two GE CF6-80 turbofan engines. There were 3 people on board the aircraft. Captain Ricky Blakely, 60-year-old, joined Atlas Air in 2015. Blakely logged a total of 11,172 flight hours, including 1,252 hours on the Boeing 767. First Officer Conrad Jules Aska, 44-year-old, joined Atlas Air on July 3, 2017. He had logged 5,073 flight hours, with 520 of them on the 767. And Mesa Airlines Captain Sean Archuleta, 36-year-old, who was in his final week of employment at Mesa Airlines and was traveling to work before beginning new hire pilot training with United Airlines scheduled for the following week. Atlas Air 3591 departed Miami at 10:33 Central Standard Time, 11:33 Eastern Standard Time, with Aska as the pilot flying and Captain Blakely monitoring the controls. Flight 3591 was on approach towards Houston when it flew through the forward edge of a cold front, which produced an area of instrument meteorological conditions with clouds and turbulence, with cloud tops varying from approximately 19,500 feet, 5,900 meters, to 27,300 feet, 8,300 meters, of altitude, and cloud bases varying from 2,000 feet, 610 meters, to 3,000 feet, 910 meters, above ground level. First Officer Aska then requested radar vectors to the west side of the airport to avoid the inclement weather. The controller accepted, though advised the crew to expedite their descent to 3,000 feet, 910 meters. The flight crew then started to configure the aircraft for landing and set up the flight management system. At 12 hours 38 minutes and 2.2 seconds CST, Aska called out, "Flaps 1," and the slats were extended. 29 seconds later, the aircraft's go-around mode was activated switch accidentally. The aircraft made a sharp turn south before going into a rapid descent. Witnesses to the crash described the plane entering a nosedive. Some also recalled hearing what sounded like lightning before the Boeing 767 hit the ground.
Sink rate, pull rate. Sink rate, pull up. Pull rate, sink rate, pull up.
At 12:36 Central Standard Time, 18:36 Universal Time Coordinated, radar and radio contact was lost. There was no distress call. At 12 hours 39 minutes and 3.9 seconds CST, 18 hours 39 minutes and 3.9 seconds UTC, the time the CVR recording ended, Flight 3591 crashed into the north end of Trinity Bay at Jack's Pocket. The area of water is within Chambers County, Texas, and is in proximity to Anahuac. On February 24, Atlas Air confirmed that all 3 people on board died. Investigators from the FAA, Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, and National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, were dispatched to the accident site with the NTSB leading the accident investigation. Examined debris at the edge of Trinity Bay, NTSB investigators recovered the flight data recorder from Trinity Bay. A dive team from the Texas Department of Public Safety, DPS, was tasked with locating the aircraft's flight recorders, and dive teams from the Houston and Baytown police departments were also on scene assisting in the search. On August 6, 2020, the NTSB posted the final accident report to their website. The probable cause of this accident was the inappropriate response by the first officer, as the first officer most likely struck the go-around switch accidentally with his left wrist or his wristwatch while manipulating the nearby speed brake lever, and that neither pilot realized that the aircraft's automated flight mode had been changed, which led to his spatial disorientation and nose-down control inputs that placed the airplane in a steep descent from which the crew did not recover. Contributing to the accident was the captain's failure to adequately monitor the airplane's flight path and assume positive control of the airplane to effectively intervene. Investigators concluded that the pilots were unable to see the ground until the aircraft exited the clouds approximately 3,000 feet (910 m) above the bay, at which point safe recovery from the steep descent would have been impossible. The NTSB noted that both pilots had difficulties in their training. Blakely experienced difficulties during training for his type rating on the 767. On October 31, 2015, he was declared unfit for a check ride due to unsatisfactory remarks on his. First Officer Aska had also experienced training difficulties with Atlas Air, more so than Blakely. Aska's first issues were reported in July 2017, the same month he joined Atlas Air, when he was declined an oral exam for his type rating on the 767 as he needed remediation training. Also contributing to the accident was the Federal Aviation Administration's failure to implement the pilot records database in a sufficiently robust and timely manner. The NTSB recommended that pilots of the 767 and the similar Boeing 757 be trained to recognize and recover from inadvertent go-around mode actuation, but also concluded that available data suggested that such an actuation was a rare and typically benign event.
Thank you for watching the video. If you have an idea of the flight, please comment below to everyone discuss.